upon a time, on the top of a hill, there lived a very happy, carefree creature who loved to sing and dance and play his fiddle, and he did all three very well. And he had a winning smile and not a penny to his name, and he never did a lick of work, and he was green all over naturally, being a grasshopper, and everyone called him Hop. And that's what he did, all right. Hop. He would hop from one place to another, looking for a good time, which he usually found if he had to make it all by himself. When it came to cutting a caper or trilling a tune, not another grasshopper could touch him. But somebody had to work. It wasn't Hop. Somebody had to keep an eye on the grass for barren patches, but not Hop. And there had to be sky watchers, constantly scanning for birds who loved nothing better than a nice, succulent, unsuspecting grasshopper. Well, Hop looked neither up nor down. Sometimes he even closed his eyes, being that carried away with the music he was making. Yes, Hop was pretty blind to everything but a good time. There was one bird, though, who wasn't blind to Hop. He was a young buzzard, and his name was Bubba, and he hated just about everything. His parents, and flowers, and sunsets, and music. He loathed music, which is why he particularly hated Hop. He was a bully and a coward at heart, a juvenile delinquent, just waiting for Hop to step out of the protected coloring of the green grass onto a barren spot where, as everyone knows, a grasshopper then becomes a sitting duck, which is the next step to a dead pigeon. And his friends said things like, someday Hop is going to get it. But today Hop sang. He sang at the drop of a hat, even if he had to drop his own. Oh, the world owes me a living. Oh, the world owes me a living. If I work hard all day, I might sleep better. When in bed at night, I sleep all day, so that's all right. At the end of his song, Hop gave an extra little hop and hopped clear out of the grass. Bubba swooped, and only the quick action of his friend Gabriel saved his life. Bubba circled, screaming with frustration, clawing the air like a spoiled brat. It was a close call, all right. Thank you, Gabriel, he said, for saving my fiddle. Gabriel was his close friend and constant companion. Gabriel was a cricket. He wanted to be a musician like Hop and play a musical instrument, any kind of instrument. Poor Gabe couldn't carry a tune. What he lacked in talent, he made up for in energy, though. And at the present time, he was practicing on a blade of grass which he held between his front legs and blew upon. At the same time, rubbing his back legs together to keep the rhythm. This shook him up some. Hop put up with him because, well, he was more available from work than any of the others. In other words, he was nearly as lazy as Hop. Take 5, said Hop kindly, noticing how pooped his friend looked. Gabriel smiled his thanks. What are you eating, Hop? Seed tassels, said Hop. Very tasty. Have one. I'll save mine for later, said Gabriel. Think how good one of these will taste come fall. And he wrapped several little seed tassels in a maple leaf for later. Hop ate all his right now. Hop, said Gabe, you haven't saved one thing for winter. Hop laughed. Winter is so far away. Summer is the time for play. And he laughed. Finally, Gabriel had to laugh, too. One laugh leads to another, as anyone knows, and it doesn't take any time to lead a laugh, ha-ha, into a song. And before long, there was such singing and noise as you ever heard, and smack dab in the middle, Hoppy and his fiddle. If I worked hard all day, I might sleep better when in bed at night. Sleep all day. Down at the bottom of the hill was a deep ditch, and at the bottom of the ditch were the ants, very busy working as usual, with the usual bunch of sidewalk loafers watching them. And they were something to watch, those ants. Between the dump heap and the storehouse. One line going that way to the storehouse, pushing and hauling their load. The other line coming this way to the dump, empty-handed for now, until they got their load and got in the other line going that way. And sitting between the two lines on a large pebble was the queen ant, slowly revolving so she could keep her eyes on both lines, her antenna attuned to the furthermost reaches of both lines. There was nothing the queen missed, her antenna being the most powerful and highly sensitive in the entire kingdom, which of course, according to ant custom, is why she was queen. You might say she was every inch a queen, except that she wasn't even an inch. But nobody got out of line just the same. There was one young worker ant named Andy, named for an uncle, who was very smart and who had a pretty powerful antenna of his own, and he loved music. Andy believed in hard work like all ants. He also believed in play like all ants, and he was pretty good at managing to play while he was working. And sometimes, just for the fun of it, he went backwards in both lines. He didn't choose to think he was cheating. He chose to think he was developing his leg muscles. He was carrying on such doodads behind the queen's back, of course, that several ants in the workload line almost dropped their loads when they saw him. They were carrying balls of cotton on their backs, which the scout ants had found in the top of an old vitamin pill bottle, and which the queen thought would make nice winter bedding. "What in the name of old Aunt Harriet is that boy doing?" one of the workers whispered. "Dancing to music," he says. "Oh, I wish I had his antenna," said the first ant. "He's overdoing it. If there was music, you could be sure the queen would hear it." "He's moving his lips now," said the first ant, "like singing." "That boy will grow up to be a cheat," said the first ant. "Or a king," said the second ant. Finally, Andy could stand it no longer. "I can't stay here. I must go where the music is. I want to sing too. Let the others lift that load and tote that cotton." Then Andy did something he had never done before. He got out of line, and he was at the top of the hill before the queen revolved again. "Oh, this is music to dance forward to," said Andy, and he did, right up to Hop. "Welcome, music lover," said Hop. "Would you care to take a chorus?"
Oh, the world owes me a living. Diddle-da-da-dee-dum-dum.
Wait for me, Andy.
Oh, the world owes me a living.
Diddle-da-dee-dum-dum.
Oh, the world owes me a living.
Diddle-da-dee-dum-dum.
If I work hard all day, I might sleep better when in bed at night.
I sleep all day, so that's all right.
Diddle-da-dee-dum-dum.
Both Gabriel and Hop praised Andy for his rendition. "We'd make a fine trio," said Hop. "You've got a quartet now," said a new voice. It was the queen. "Oh," said Gabriel, surprised. "Oh," said Hop, delighted. "Oh," said Andy, terrified. "Would your majesty like to take a chorus alone?" suggested Hop. The queen withered Hop with a withering look. Then she looked at Andy, and she really outwithered herself. "Home," she commanded, pointing her antenna like a royal scepter. Never did a disloyal subject obey a command more loyally. When the queen returned to the work camp, Andy was already back in line, the one going that way. For many days after, Andy worked hard to make up for his time off. The sweat ran into his eyes, his new big leg muscles ached, and his head was crammed with snatches of song. But that was good. And suddenly, summer was gone. The first nip was in the air. Hop was still a-singing and a-swinging, but his audiences were noticeably smaller. The grasshoppers were busy preparing against the days when there would be no grass to hop in. It was almost impossible to get together a trio. In fact, things were down to Hop and Gabe now, which wasn't even a duo, and there was no grass for Gabe to blow upon, and he was down to his rhythm section, reduced to just rubbing his hind legs together, and because he was always cold and shivering, this ruined his rhythm. Hop couldn't tell whether he was practicing or just being cold.